knowledge economy, then, we have to understand in this broad way. And it doesn't reveal its full potential because it hasn't spread. The dissemination and the deepening are two sides of the same process. An advanced practice of production reveals its potential only as it spreads across a wide range of economic circumstances. It's arrested, it's quarantined in these, it's cabined in these fringes and islands that I described. So its deeper potential is not manifest, but it does have a deeper potential. And we can understand that potential in several ways. It brings together the activity of producing and of discovering, production and imagination. It requires a change in the moral culture of production. The traditional forms of production are based on the generalization of low trust among strangers. And thus they require and sustain command and control type of organization. The knowledge economy depends on a higher level of reciprocal trust and of discretionary initiative by all who are involved in the process of production. And it has the potential to loosen or reverse what has been the most persistent constraint in economic life, which is what we call diminishing marginal returns. You commit an input to the process of production, the returns to that input rise, they plateau, and then at the margin they begin to fall. Why? And it's because the process of innovation and investment is episodic. It's what the biologists call punctuated equilibrium. The knowledge economy has the potential to organize a form of innovation that is perpetual and that is internal to the process of production itself. And to the extent that it does that, to relax or even reverse this constraint of diminishing marginal returns. So this has vast potential. But to realize this potential, we would have to reorganize things. So for example, we would need a different kind of education. Traditional industry doesn't really need educated workers. It needs only elementary literacy and numeracy, a disposition to obey, and physical dexterity. But the knowledge economy requires a form of education characterized by the mastery of analytic and synthetic capabilities, by flexible, practical, and conceptual powers that are demanded to take full advantage of numerically controlled machine tools. And it also requires a series of institutional changes in the economy and in the way of organizing the market, so that more people can have more access to the resources and opportunities of production in more ways. Now, there are many models that we have from the past of how we could begin. For example, there's the model of 19th century agricultural extension. The state comes to the aid of the family farmer with scientific advice, with access to practice, so that family scale agriculture can have entrepreneurial attributes, and organizes a regime of what in today's vocabulary we would call cooperative competition. The family farmers have their own property, but they also pool resources, including even labor, to achieve economies of scale. So from those relatively modest beginnings, we would have to start to redesign the market order, so that instead of having a market order that is fastened to a single dogmatic version of itself, we have many ways in which economic agents can secure decentralized access to productive resources and opportunities. Alternative property and contract regimes would begin to coexist experimentally in the same market order. And those suggestions and then lead into this wider debate about what's wrong with the existing market order and what kind of a market order do we want and need.